What do you think of that WAP, Waffles and Pancakes? For anyone who doesn't know, there's a new song by Cardi B that's very sexually explicit about, that's kind of like her thing in general, right? A lot of her songs are about like, I'm a woman who enjoys sex, I guess. And then there's a lot of conversation about if that's empowering or not. And it seems like it really triggers a lot of like conservative people with platforms who are conservative seem to get really upset at the idea of these women singing songs.
I think that's the point of the music and all of it is to trigger those particular people. They want to kind of upset them and make them uncomfortable because for decades it's always been quite the opposite, where men could brag about like their sexual prowess and whatever they do and it be looked up to. So now all of a sudden the women are doing it. These conservative men are being like, that's immoral. So I think that's kind of the point of all of this. It's like as for my own personal feelings, I don't really care because I mean, like, personally, it wouldn't empower me as my little sock self to be like Cardi B. I would feel very silly doing those dances. I don't think I could pull it off. But if that makes you feel good as a woman and empowering, then that's totally cool.
Good
too.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're totally on the same page that it's really absurd and kind of hilarious, but also sad to see people reacting to this as if it's like some morally abhorrent, terrible thing for our culture. How dare these women talk about enjoying sex, right? At the same time, I've noticed that anyone who sort of questions whether or not these songs are empowering to women kind of immediately get labeled as misogynists. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like I was reading I listened to the song and in one of the verses, it's talking about, you know, I'm so good at sex, I get a man to pay for things for me. I don't really, I'm just some guy. I don't really know why a woman would find that empowering.
Good point. I
mean?
haven't closely analyzed the lyrics. I did watch the music video finally. But if that is a lyric, that is kind of taking away from what I thought that their major message was, which was like, we as women are powerful and we can do what we want with our own means. We don't need your money or your help, which I think is a generally fine overall message. I think it's more about like, I'm a woman that can talk about enjoying sex graphically. And I think you kind of touched on something before, like for years we've had like hip hop music from men that is very brags about their sexual conquest. Like, I fucked her in the back or whatever. Something like that.
Something like that. So this is sort of a response to that. But I also do wonder, like, when we hear male rappers, you know, bragging about having sex with a lot of women, I know some people think that's cool, and I guess a lot of kids like that, but I hear that and I think it's just lame, right?
Like the Shaggy song, it wasn't me.
I guess just more crude stuff like that, or like rap, music videos that are full of like girls shaking their asses that is pretty just like objectifying women sexually. I roll my eyes at that stuff. And I kind of similarly wonder, like, a female answer to that, is that empowering, or is it just similarly like, who are these people I
mean, they're kind of taking the culture and turning it on its head. Maybe that's just part of like statement making. So
are they though, if the lyrics are still about like, I'm so good at, you know, sex that this guy's gonna pay my tuition? I think that was one of the lines.
It said
like,
pay your tuition?
Yeah.
Well, tuition, okay. No, I'm just kidding.
She's trying to empower herself and get further ahead.
Oh, interesting twist here.
I guess. Anyway, I'm just some guy, so who cares what I think? But yeah, do whatever floats your boat.